Hello children, welcome to my new video. This is Shweta Rani. In my last video, I had discussed line number 23 to line number 48, Act 1, Scene 1, and the drama is The Merchant of Venice. In that, I had explained Salarino's feelings for Antonio's sadness. Basically, he had talked about three major things which could be the reasons of his sadness if he would have remained a renowned merchant like Antonio. Those three things he had told that whenever he cools his broth, that is hot soups, by blowing air from his mouth, that air gives him the imagination of strong blowing wind blowing over the sea. Secondly, he had talked about sandy hourglass. The sand present in that gives him the thinking of fatal sandbanks in which his rich Andrews, that is ships, can be grounded. Thirdly, he had talked about holy edifice of stone, that is holy building made up of white marbles. That stone makes him realize about the dangerous mountains or rocks in the middle of the sea or oceans. These three things are really very destructive for ships. So by giving the example of these things, he wanted to convince Antonio that Antonio must be sad because of his ships sailing throughout the world. But Antonio denies from these things. He clearly says that he is not sad because of his merchandise, his ships, because his business is not one bottom trusted. Bottom means ships, neither on the profit and loss, that is financial status of 1 year. On that, he says, then if merchandise is not the reason behind his sadness, then he must be in love. For Antonio says, fie, means shame upon you. He boldly denies from this fact also. Further again, there is Salerno's dialogue, and what he says, let us go ahead. Not in love neither? Then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. And it were as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. Neither here means either. This is Old English form. So he says, if you are not even in love, that means you are sad just because you are not merry. Merry means happy. Means he himself, that Antonio, willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, does not want to remain happy. That means if he is sad, he is not happy because he himself doesn't want to remain happy. Now, by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Now here, Salerno gives the reference of Janus. Janus means Roman god, two-headed Roman god. One head means one face with smiling expression, cheerful expression, and other face with aggressive or sad expression. So here Salerno gives the reference of Janus, I told you, Roman god with two heads. He says, nature has framed two kinds of people like Roman god. Okay, he says, as a Roman god has two kind of faces, one sad, another with happy expression, that is cheerful expression. Likewise, there are two kinds of people in this world. First kind, who wants to remain happy in any kind of situation, whether good or bad. And second, can never remain happy in any funniest situation, even in funniest situation. So for what he says further, now by two-headed Janus, nature hath means has framed strange fellows in her time. Strange fellows here he talks about two kinds of people, some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and other of such vinegar aspect that they will not show their teeth in way of smile, though Nestor swear they just be laughable. So what he says, I told you he talked about two kinds of people. One who remains always happy even in adverse condition. We can say people with positive attitude. And another kind who can never laugh, who always remains sad even in the funniest situation. Those two kinds of people he had compared with two different examples. He says the people who remain happy even in adverse condition are just like that parrot that while sleeping also he tries to open his eyes listening the bagpiper's music because he wants to remain happy, because as he is attracted by that bagpiper's music. Bagpipe is a kind of musical instrument and bagpiper is one who plays it, and that musical instrument does not give a very melodious sound. Okay, but even in that dull sound, parrots wants to remain happy, wants to laugh. But just opposite to them, there are another group of people who always wants to remain happy, sad, just like Nestor. Now, who is this Nestor? Nestor was an old and wise Greek general who fought in Trojan War. Okay, Troy is the name of place, and once the war was fought, that is Trojan War, and Nestor was the Greek general in that. Now, regarding Nestor, it was said that he always remained serious. He never laughed. He never smiled even at the most laughable jokes. So he says here that there are two kinds of people. He compares them with one kind with parrot who always remains happy even in the adverse situation, as parrot wants to laugh and smile even at the bagpiper's music, which is not at all melodious to hear, and another kind that always wants to remain sad, just like Nestor, who never laughed even at most laughable jokes. Further, he says Selenio interrupts because Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Gratiano enters in the scene. So Selenio says, "Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman. Gratiano and Lorenzo, farewell. We leave you now with better company." Now his best friend Bassanio has approached. So here we are introduced with Bassanio, his best friend, his buddy. Okay, along with that, there are two more friends. They are Gratiano and Lorenzo. Okay, so Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Gratiano enters the scene, and on that Selenio interrupts and says, "Your kinsman, your close friend." Bassanio has already approached, and along with him, who are there? Gratiano and Lorenzo. So now we will leave you in better company, means with your best friends. Selenio further says, "I would have stayed till I had made you merry, if worthier friends had not prevented me. So Sereno says, in a very funny manner, that I wanted to stay more to make you merry, to make you happy. But since you're worthier, that is valuable, closer friends have already arrived. Now it's time for us to leave. Now, for that, what was Antonio's reaction? Your word is very dear in my regard. I take it your own business calls on you and you embrace the occasion to depart. Antonio clarifies the fact that your worth is also dearest in my regard. Dear in my regard means you are also very much valuable for me. I take it means I think it that you are going because of your own work, your own business, and you embrace the occasion to depart means you are taking this as it as your opportunity, taking it as an opportunity. You are leaving for your own business, for your own work, and you are saying that you are leaving because of my another friends, but actually you are also valuable in my eyes. And in same sarcastic manner, he says, Antonio says, that it seems that your own work is calling you and you are taking the opportunity. Now Salerno says, good morrow, my good lords. He greets his friends, that is Bassanio, Graciano, and Lorenzo. He greets by saying good morrow, that is good morning. Then Bassanio replies, good seniors both. When shall we laugh? Say when. You grow exceeding strange. Must it be so? See, Bassanio says, Bassanio replies them. He also greets them by replying that now when we will spend time together. When shall we laugh? Say when means when we will spend time together, when we will celebrate. You grow exceeding strange. You have become very strange. It must be so. It means that they have not spent time together from many days maybe. For that, Bassanio wants to spend time together with friends, quality time with friends. He wants to celebrate with them. For that, he's asking for time, for some leisure time. And for that, he says, it seems that you have become stranger to me. Then Salerno replies, we'll make our leisures to attain our ears. He very politely, very humbly, since they are friends, so they are talking in a very light manner, in a funny manner. They are poking each other, and in a very light manner he replies, I'll certainly take out some leisure time to spend together. And likewise, Salerno and Selenio leaves the scene. Now who remains there? Antonio is of course there. Then Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Graciano, just now they have approached, so they are present. So altogether, Antonio, Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Graciano, they are there. We must remember that the location where the scene is picturized, that is very important to remember. Other than that, who are the characters? I had I have discussed this in my previous videos also, that location, the place, and the characters are very important. Okay, so never forget this. Further, Lorenzo says, my Lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will leave you, but at dinner time, I pray you have in mind where we must meet. Now Lorenzo also wants to leave along with Graciano. Since Bassanio is the closest friend of Antonio, so Lorenzo and Graciano, they also wanted to leave so that they could spend some time together. For that, Lorenzo is saying, my Lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, now you have already found Antonio, my Lord Bassanio, means he is giving, in the sense of giving regard to Bassanio, he is calling him, addressing him like that. Now he says that now you have already met Antonio, now we too also should leave, but don't forget, I pray you, I request you that we must meet once again at dinner time. So for today, let me end my video up to here. I have discussed up to from line number 49 to this is 70, 71, 72, 73. Okay, I hope this is going to be helpful for you. So for my next video, wait and watch. Bye bye children.